We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda. Bum,
Hi, everyone.
And he's Grogu. How
He
you
is
doing,
so
buddy?
glad you're back, Aunt
I
Brenda.
mean,
Thank
he
you.
he is not the only one. We're all glad you're back, Brenda.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be back.
And we are all on the road with Mickey.
Yay.
This is episode 167 for April 24th, 2023. And our feature topic this week is a celebration of the 25th anniversary of Animal Kingdom Park.
Yay.
So,
Wow.
we're looking forward to sharing our thoughts on the park. But first, we have some Animal Kingdom cheddar from the Big Cheese. And Brenda,
Yay.
you start us off. Go
Oh,
for it.
awesome. Well, of course, as you know from our feature topic, this past Saturday was the 25th anniversary of Animal Kingdom Park. In addition, April 16th was the 22nd anniversary of the opening of Animal Kingdom Lodge, which we love.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, then, and it's my turn. More Animal Kingdom news, because Animal Kingdom is all about Animal Kingdom today.
Yes,
In
it is.
celebration of Earth Day and the 25th anniversary, there is a rare meet and greet at the Tree of Life with Baloo and King Louie from the Jungle Book. We've not seen
Oh,
those in a
cute.
while.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah, those are rare meet and greets. You don't see them in the parks very often.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
rarer
that,
than
especially at Walt
Tinkerbell.
Disney World because, at Disneyland, there's a lot more rare characters, but at Disney World, you don't get that a lot. And that's so great they're doing that. I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then rounding out our cheddar, Doug and Russell from Up can be found on one of the flotillas that you see out on the water in the what is the water, the river, the Discovery River or something like that. Um, and they are also here as part of the Earth Day and Animal Kingdom celebrations. So I
Sweet.
think in all of this kind of cheddar, it's kind of like short lived. I don't think you're going to have much opportunity to see Doug and Russell out on the flotilla anyway. And you're also not going to have much chance to see Baloo and King Louie. So if you're there, make a point to go see them because you don't see them in the
Yeah.
parks very often. So,
Yes, for sure. That's awesome.
so, so that's our Animal Kingdom cheddar from the Big Cheese. And we're going to hop right into our feature topic. We are celebrating the 25th anniversary of Animal Kingdom Park. And we each have a list of 5 things, both present or from the past, if you want, that we are excited that we like about the park. So we're going to share them. And Brenda, since you're back, you go at it, girl.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I have four things that are still currently there and one thing that is no longer there, at least right now. It could come back. It just hasn't yet. So I'm going to start with that one. And that is the Ultimate Nights of Adventure VIP tour in Animal Kingdom Park. And even
Wow.
though it's discontinued right now, I'm a sucker for those evening hours, extra magic hours you pay for when the park is closed and you stay and do your thing. I I almost will always do that. If it's offered, I will do that because less crowds, get on the rides fast. I like being out at night more than waking up early. And I used to love that because you got what was Fast Pass back then. It was a 4-hour tour and you got Fast Pass back then to Everest, Kilimanjaro Safari at night, Flight of Passage, Navi River, and Dinosaur. And then they have snacks and beverages, and some of the beverages are alcoholic, which I couldn't have, but other people could. And then they gave you a souvenir lanyard, and it was just a nice experience. And I love doing things like that at night. So I
So
hope they'll bring that back to Animal Kingdom sometime soon.
I do too. It sounds like it was the precursor to the after hours parties in
Yeah,
many
yeah.
ways.
and it was more exclusive because it was, it was a VIP tour.
Yeah.
It wasn't just kind of do it on your own, but it was back then. It was like 200 and
Wow.
I think it was $249 a person. So that, you have to remember though that some of the time we travel with all the family, some of the time we travel Butch and I and the two oldest granddaughters, and then some of the time we travel just us two. So it depends on how you're traveling. If you
As
want
to
to,
whether you would do it.
right, right.
Yeah.
So, but it was a great experience, and I used to love it. So
There you
that
go.
was
Yeah.
my first one.
Well, that's a
Mhm.
great start.
That's a very good start.
Thank you.
Sophie,
Shoot, and I'm
you're
over here.
next.
I'm just talking about the rides at first. I'm not even talking about all that kind of stuff because, well, we haven't actually done that.
We haven't.
Nah. But hey, rides are rides, and they are what make a park sometimes. Let's just be honest. And the ride that I'm talking about right now, Expedition Everest.
Yay!
Oh, there you
Love
go.
that ride.
Killer
There you
ride.
go.
I love it, love it, love it. I love the entire area of the park that surrounds it. It fits so well. And the place where it is, I love the entire Asia not subcontinent, but area of the park.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It really makes you feel like you're walking through some remote place in India or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
really crazy how talented those creators are. I mean, just
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So authentic looking, and just put you right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes Disney different.
The
You
immersion,
know, it's
definitely.
not just, acres after acres of tar and asphalt that leads you
Exactly.
from one roller coaster to another roller coaster to another roller coaster. It is so much more than that. So,
We need to
Yeah.
coin that. We need to coin that. That is such a true statement and right on.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even places like Universal or Busch Gardens even, they don't have the same level. Universal especially, like Busch Gardens up in Wilmington, is it?
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg. Sorry, I get my towns mixed up all the time. Even them, they are themed after all of these European countries, and they still don't come close to
Right.
what Disney has done. And
That's
I
right.
Yeah.
love Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I think it's amazing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week when we talked in a brief sidebar about the closest thing to the immersion that we've seen outside of Disney is Harry Potter Wizarding World. That is about as
That is very
close
authentic.
to
Yeah.
what you would feel like you're actually there.
Yes.
And we talked about that, but you're right. A lot of the other areas are just, and they have their own system, their own thinking of it. But you're right. As far as dropping you in the middle of Asia, right by Everest, and
Yeah.
and the culture and the way it feels like you're part of that scene, it just doesn't compare. It's just on a league of its own. So
Yep. It's awesome.
yeah,
That's a great choice, Sophie.
yeah.
Thank you.
I am um taking us back in time
Ooh. Primeval
to
Whirl.
an experience that is
Your fave.
oh gosh, that's so funny.
I'm sorry.
Was awesome, Brenda. That was awesome. Blew my thunder away. Primeval World was not on my list.
I didn't think
I'm
so.
saying it right now. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Primeval Whirl, I remember waiting and waiting for myself, my tiny little self, to grow tall enough to ride that ride. And when I finally got on it, it was underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an example of the anticipation was better than the experience.
Yeah, yeah, that happens sometimes.
And Sophie, bless her heart, she had to be 48 inch. She had to be 4 foot tall to ride that thing. And finally she could do it. And then she's like, was that it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear you, honey. I hear you.
Oh.
It is what it is. But
Well, where
anyway,
are you really taking us back in time since I blew that primeval part?
No, it's not to Spaceship Earth.
I'm taking us back to 2007.
Ooh.
2007.
I was 6.
You were 6 years old. It was our first time staying on property, and we stayed at Coronado Springs,
Mm-hmm.
which of course is a short distance away from the park. And we took bus. They had extra magic hours at Animal Kingdom, which was a rarity. And the part that was open was Dinoland USA. And they had a block party out with the characters. Goofy was there, Chip and Dale were there, I think Donald was there, and it was all in the Dinoland USA area, and it was so much fun.
Yay!
That was like what was neat about it, Brenda, was Sophie was young enough that she had some hesitancy around some of the characters sometimes, not entirely, but just a little bit. But in that block party, there's all these kids and all these parents and all these characters, and it's like you could just see her just like, I'm going for it. And she had so much fun.
Sweet.
She was pulling her pigtails like this, and Goofy was pulling his ears like that. And
I love it.
she was getting photos with Chip and Dale, and it was just awesome. It was
That's
just absolutely awesome.
fantastic.
And it was like you had unlimited access to the characters, you know? It was
That
just
is
really
great.
cool. And it was at night, and it was at Animal Kingdom. So
Yeah, but I could have sworn that picture of me with my pigtails and Goofy with his ears, I thought that was from Epcot.
that you did that twice. You did it
Oh.
first at the block party, and then the next year you did the same thing
Oh,
at
cool.
Epcot.
That's awesome.
Actually,
Oh
that
my
time I don't
gosh.
think it was
I
Epcot.
love
I think
that.
that might have been Cape May, but or maybe at
Sweet.
Chef Mickey's. But anyway, yeah, you did it. You did it 2 years in a row, and then you're like, okay, I had enough of that.
Oh.
But it was
Well,
neat. It was
That
neat.
is
Yeah.
awesome.
That was a fun experience to be able to go to Animal Kingdom at night when they're normally not open,
Yeah.
and be able to have
Yes.
fun with
Yes.
characters like that. So that block party is a memory. So that was
Yeah.
That is a great one.
one of my favorites. So
Yay. That is a great one. Well, I'm going to be kind of boring on my next one because I'm seconding.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm seconding Sophie's number one choice, and that's Expedition Everest because, you know, it's Expedition Everest. It's one of the greatest thrill rides anywhere at Walt Disney World. So it speaks for itself. After you get off the ride for the 10th time, you can head right down the road and get your favorite ice cream.
there you go. At
Yeah.
the Nanda Par food truck.
And then
That's
the poor
right. It's
food
really
truck.
good.
And that ice cream is so good. Oh,
It's
The only
Especially
thing
when it's
better than riding
free.
a roller coaster is ice cream afterwards,
yeah.
and not
Especially-
before.
Especially when it's free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is another Disney thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Believe
Okay
it or not.
then. Well, that is a good one, Aunt Brenda. Specifically.
Good. So good. That ride is just so unique and so, but it does have, you know, when it goes backwards and it pushes you into your seat and does that very tight turn, it does make some people very sick.
Yeah.
Gotta, you know, if you're listening and you have not ridden it, you know, you need to, I mean, God, I hope you try it at least once, but you know, I hate for anybody to be sick, but I hate for anybody to miss out on something that good
Yeah.
because they're scared of, you know, something
Oh.
possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a
I hear
try.
ya. I hear you. Sophie, number 2 on your list.
Number 2, another ride.
Yay.
Flight
Yeah.
of Passage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It is really, you know, I don't know how to say this exactly, but I feel like my love for Animal Kingdom has only gotten bigger as the years went by.
Hmm.
Because when you're a little girl and you can't even go on the rides that you want to go on, and you're just kind of stuck over in Dino Land USA because nothing else in the park interests you, it gets really boring really fast. But then, as you get older, you start to expand your horizons. It's like with food. You start to try new things. You start to
Yeah,
go to new sections of Animal Kingdom. You find Africa, you find Asia, and then you find the new Pandora world that they replaced
You
Camp Mickey and Minnie with.
exactly Camp Mickey Minnie. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah, and that world, oh my goodness. I love Pandora so much. Avatar, the Avatar movies were some of my favorite. And riding on a Banshee in Flight of Passage, it really does feel like the closest thing you'll get to being in heaven.
totally.
It really does feel like that.
It really does. Seeing
And
the clouds and the it's just so
the
beautiful.
whimsical world, too.
Yeah,
Like,
Hmm.
even with the huge, ginormous animals all around you that
yeah,
you feel could gobble you up in one go, it's amazing.
it is
Yeah.
so awesome for sure.
Yeah,
Great choice, great choice.
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah. That is a good choice. Um, you know what I'm seeing here? I have some rides too in mind. But the first two, I'm looking back, and I'm taking us back to, I want to say 2008. That's the year it closed. Um, and I'm remembering special things that we didn't see but once or twice. Like we only did the block party once, and we only saw this show once.
Hmm.
But for whatever reason, it just captivated me, and I think it's partly because after the show was over, it was such a small thing, but after the show was over, the cast members and the characters would stay around, and you could go get pictures. It's kind of like you know how Voices of Liberty, after they do their pre-show before you go into the American experience, and afterwards, a lot of times they'll just hang out and you can have a picture with some of the singers, which Sophie's done in the past. Um,
Yeah.
Same thing with this show, and that was the Pocahontas and her forest friends show.
Oh
And
yeah.
there was a special tree that was Grandmother Willow, and Pocahontas in character form was there, and some of her friends, and it was just a itty bitty little thing. And I think we saw it in 2008, and we only saw it once. And um, I've learned in my research that it opened when the park opened in 1998, and it was there for about 10 years. So it closed in 2008. Um, but I just remember Sophie having so much fun because she got to go up afterwards and got a picture with Pocahontas and
Hmm.
all those
Yeah.
sorts of things. And it wasn't by any stretch an elaborate thing. It was, I would put it kind of on par with like seeing the bird show that they do in Animal Kingdom, where you go and you see the birds. It's near Cali River in that area, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on par with that kind of show. It's not by any means the beat all end all kind of thing. Oh my gosh, have you seen it? No, you got to go see it kind of thing.
Well,
But
it's very unique though to see
yeah,
Pocahontas.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's just for whatever reason it's just stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
But it
And
was a
there it
fun.
is.
I remember seeing it, and I remember enjoying it as much as Sophie and Cindy did. So there you go.
That's awesome.
So that's the last of my
Great choice.
attractions and experiences that are no longer there. So now my next ones will all be things that you can do right now. So
Good.
all right. So that's number 2.
All right.
That's
Number
great.
3 for Brenda.
So for me, so you could do this and then you couldn't do it. And then it came back, but it was modified. And then now supposedly it's back to normal, but I have not experienced it since it's been back to normal. And that is Tusker House. And always on every trip when my kids were going with us, and then since we had the granddaughters, we've always done Tusker House breakfast. We always do like the very last slot available where breakfast ends and lunch starts, so that we go through the line for breakfast and get breakfast foods, meet all the characters, then we go back through the line and get what we want for lunch foods because they change it out. And it's always been a great experience because you get to meet, they're all in their little safari outfits, and there's Donald and Daisy and Mickey and Goofy. And they really, at least in our experience, they spent a good amount of time with the table, so you could get various pictures, with whomever, like one of them and then everybody or whatever. And it's always been a really good experience, really good food. The juice is yummy there. That juice that they have that's only in Animal Kingdom is really good. I don't think they call it jungle juice. I don't remember what they call it, but it's really, really good. So I'm going to say Tusker House because it's been a family favorite for a long, long time. And I'm hoping that since it's supposed to be back to normal, that it is back to normal. And if anybody out there is listening and you've been recently, you can let us know your thoughts on it. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Tusker House.
Tusker House
Tusker
restaurant.
House.
So you did have food in your list.
Actually, I didn't have, it was my runner-up, but since Sophie and I think exactly alike, I went ahead and replaced one of mine with.
Got it.
Because I know she and I are going to probably do that again. So I replaced one of mine with Tusker House.
Well,
There you
fair
go.
enough, because I'll be honest, Tusker House, I don't generally consider it, and I think as a result, it might be one of my not so favorite places to eat at Animal Kingdom.
Oh.
Well, we've never eaten there. That might be why.
Yeah,
Oh.
that might be why.
Yeah. Don't rule it out because it's been a really good experience. So give it a try sometime.
Okay, then. All right. Well, I guess it's time for my number 3 then.
Yeah.
And we're veering slightly away from rides, and we're talking about shows now.
I know what show she's going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yep.
I
Which
think
show
so.
am I going to talk about, Daddy?
The Festival of the Lion King.
Yep.
You're right. Oh, you're right.
I had a 50-50. It's either that or Finding Nemo the musical, and I figure it's probably not. It's probably the other. So.
Aw, well, don't get me wrong, I love Finding Nemo the musical, but after it got closed for who can even remember how long, I'm still a little bit salty about that. Mm. And that was supposed to be a pun, but it obviously didn't land because salt water.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Oh, I've got
Yeah,
it
went
coming
over
out
my
of my
head.
head. What more do you want?
It's okay. My humor is not always that good. But anyway, Festival of the Lion King. I am so sad that I had to miss it on my last trip to Animal Kingdom, and that was the trip with Stephanie and Shane and the girl. Well, was Shane there? I can't exactly remember. I'm so
No,
sorry,
he wasn't
Shane.
at that one. He wasn't at that. This was for your birthday.
Yeah, you're right. He had important work things to do. But yeah, it was Stephanie, it was Aunt Robin, it was Mima, and of course it was
Daddy.
and Lindsay and Mackenzie, the lovely little ladies that they are. And they all went to see Festival of the Lion King. But I was more interested in going to another ride, which may or may not be talked about.
Here,
Who knows?
It may or may not, but
I'm gonna think it is.
think it is, and I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but I'm gonna share a photo real quick,
Mm.
so that she can be part of the show.
That
Oh,
there, that is Mackenzie sitting in her mother's lap, and she's like, yes, this is mildly entertaining.
And then there's my mom, and there's my sister, and there's Lindsay, and I'm the one taking it, so I'm sitting next to Steph. So there you go.
Yep.
Yay.
I love Festival of the Lion King. It is such an awesome show. I
Yeah,
really like. Honestly, The Lion King itself is a masterpiece, and I'm glad that they adapted it into a show that so we can all experience these songs from the movie in
yeah,
live action.
yeah. It's a great show.
It's
Oh
a
my
It
great
gosh,
really
show.
is.
it
And
Very
the
is
action
such a
puppets
packed,
good
and the
show.
animatronics, those are amazing.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a good show. Really good.
Yeah, that's a do not miss for sure.
That is definitely a do not miss. And I'm going to talk about the other do not miss as far as
Hmm.
shows. Um, and I'm going to, it was a 1A and a 1B. I think Festival of the Lion King is the 1A, but not that far off. 1B is Finding Nemo the musical,
The salty one?
the salty one. So the Finding Nemo show is really good.
And you know what I recently found out?
What?
The show, that musical, it is actually a very heavily condensed version of the one that you will find on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
The songs from that musical are the ones that are in the, and we all know Disney makes a lot of Broadway musicals of their movies, and they are mostly great. But I love that they brought like a tiny little snippet of it to Disney World because I would
Yeah.
have loved to see all these musicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true because you get so much variety of everything at Walt Disney World. It's not just rides. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's different.
It's
So different.
music.
Yeah.
It's music, it's songs, it's happiness. It's awesome. It's magic.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep. I
That's
agree.
right.
I agree. All right. But yeah, both of those shows um are worth seeing, not just for their content, but also if it is the middle of a blazing hot summer day and you need to cool down, those are both good places to do so. But you won't just be there to cool down, you'll be there to enjoy the show as well. So
Yeah.
it's not just, hey, go in here to take a nap. It is go in here to cool down, but also enjoy the show. So, all
Yeah.
right. So, Brenda, number 4 on your list.
Number 4 on my list. Okay. I have really loved sharing this particular experience with my kids and with my grandkids. Every time we do it, we learn something new that we didn't know the time before. And we've done it, I don't know, 30 times. And that is Kilimanjaro safaris.
Yeah.
We love, I mean, especially when it's the first time for one of the kids, because it is truly, people, it is the closest thing to a real African safari that you can get anywhere. I mean, it's like 20 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
It has so much information. You see so many animals, and it's just a really unique experience they put in there in the savannah. And they,
Yeah.
the people talking, some of them say they're similar jargon, but they'll add different facts in there about things, and
Hmm.
it's really neat to share that with the kids. It's really a great experience every time.
Yeah. And I like one of the things I like that they've started doing more recently, I think, is they talk about all the conservation efforts that Disney
Yeah.
does and
Yes.
really talk. I mean, like you can hear in some of the drivers just how involved and how much it means to them, because you can
Yes.
just hear the passion of what they're doing and how they're doing it and what Disney has given back and everything like that. You can just hear it in their speech and the way they talk about it. So it's really cool that they incorporate that in.
Yeah, they're proud, and they have a real animal hospital there in the park. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a real thing. It's not, I've had guests, not recently, but in years past, who, saw the bottomless hippos, obviously, in the Jungle Cruise, and the, fake animals, and they thought that the animals on the savannah were audio animatronic, or not even audio, but animatronic. And I'm like, no, those are real animals. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy wild how they've done this. To me, it's
Yeah.
really, really perfect. I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is really good.
Really, really good. And the Maharaja Jungle Trek, it's along the same stock as those.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It is just so amazing.
It is.
And you know what? If it's my turn now,
Yep.
Go for it.
well, I'm going to piggyback off of Aunt Brenda a little, but I'm going to talk about something else. And that is, and here are the rules. The rules are no Animal Kingdom Lodge and no Boma. None of this stuff. It has to be directly related to the park. And technically, this is following that rule. I'm talking about the Disney Plus show Magic of the Animal Kingdom, because it talks about all the animals that you will find in Animal Kingdom and some in Epcot, but mainly Animal Kingdom. That show, honestly, I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but there was this one TV show on, like, I don't even remember, HDTV or something, way, way many years ago, and it was called Too Cute. And it talked about baby puppies and baby kittens from birth all the way up until they're ready to leave their mothers and be adopted into other families. It gives off the same vibes as that show, Magic of the Animal Kingdom does, because there are so many baby animals on that show, and it's addictive to watch, and it really makes you care about these animals as much as the cast members do, because they do care. And you can sort of learn who these animals are. They are so much smarter than we give them credit for. They have names, they have personalities, and it's just, it tugs on your heartstrings.
Yeah, it does. And you're absolutely right, Sophie. And it's not just that you get to learn more about the animals. It's almost a behind the curtain look at how things are done at the park, because
Yeah.
you also learn more about the cast members that are caring for these animals, and you almost feel like you get to know them as people as much as you learn about the giraffes and the elephants and the hippos and so
Hmm.
forth and the rhinos and all that. It's almost like you're getting to know them just as much as you're getting to know the those beautiful creatures that they're helping to care for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really it is a neat show, and it is really cool that Disney does this. And they have two seasons out now. The first season was narrated by Josh Gad, and the second
Uh,
season I don't remember who the narrator is, but either way, they're both really really good, and they're doing really neat stuff and kind of sharing um in their own way just how much Disney looks after these. It's when a lot of people, when they think about Animal Kingdom, they think, well, it's just a zoo, but it is so much more than just a zoo,
mm-hmm.
obviously, because of the rides and everything. But also, it's not just you're going to a zoo; you're going to see how these beautiful creatures interact and how they live out their days and everything like that. And that show
Yeah.
kind of brings that up to the forefront a little bit more. So it's really neat. So
Yeah.
Great choice. Great choice.
yeah, really good choice, Sophie.
Thank you.
Really good one. Um, Number 4 for me is I'm going to talk about. Sophie talked about Flight of Passage. I'm going to talk about the.
Navi River
I'm
Journey?
going to talk about the Navi River journey, and it's kind of like, in some ways, it's almost like the forgotten stepchild. you know?
Well, it's overshadowed a little bit by
I
Flight of
wouldn't
Passage,
call
don't
it
you
a
think?
Yeah.
stepchild, though. I
Yeah.
would say it's more like the younger sibling.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of overlooked a little bit because of Flight of Passage. But Navi River Journey on its own, in my opinion, it stands up there with any of the other boat type attractions that you find at Disney. I mean,
Yeah.
it is so unique in its own way. The way that they have it all laid out and the scenery and just how relaxing it is. I mean, it's not something I do every single time because sometimes the line, to be honest, is still ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is really neat to experience, and so Navi River Journey is one of the newer things that I really like. So it's on my list.
Very good. Yeah, the bioluminescent stuff is beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on my final one.
Yeah,
Your
this went
final one.
fast.
All right. Well, my final one is also on the river, but a little different than the Navi River journey, and that is Cali River Rapids.
There you go.
And you never know if you're going to get lucky or if you're going to get soaked straight to the bone.
Oh, I
So
consider
always
those two
use the
things
free
the same
lockers
thing.
provided, which are right around the corner from the ride. Go put your stuff in the locker, be safe. Carry an extra pair of socks in your backpack in case your feet get wet, but ride the Cali River. It's a lot of fun. And I think a big part of the fun is not knowing if you're going to get lucky or if you're going to be the one.
Now listen here, Aunt Brenda. I say getting lucky and getting soaked are the exact same thing on that ride.
Oh, not me. I can understand your point of view though, and I think most young people would feel exactly the same way you do.
Not to mention with the Florida sun, you get dried off pretty quickly anyway.
Yep.
Like that, you're done.
You're done. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a
I'm in.
fun ride,
You know
people.
what? I'm in Team Sophie on that one because if I'm riding Cali River Rapids, I'm riding it because I want to get soaked. And
Because
if
it's
I
Oh,
don't get
blazing
soaked,
hot.
if you don't get soaked, then it's not lucky. It is very unlucky. And that's when
Exactly.
you hope it breaks down right before you're about to get off. And the only thing they can do after they fix it is send everybody through again.
oh
That would
my
be awesome,
goodness. Well,
you know?
when it's 40 degrees outside, which does happen at Disney though, you don't want to be the one. You don't want
That's
to
Well,
be
when
the
that's
one.
true.
that's when you
But
don't ride it.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
you
at
have to
40
write it.
degrees, I'm not riding
I have
it.
to write it and take my chance. I have to write it. Now, I haven't I've been lucky and I haven't been lucky. I have been soaked to the bone when it's 40 degrees, and that's just the way it was. I was prepared for it when I made the decision. But it's
Yeah.
still so much fun. But
Yeah.
people, listen. If you stand in the line for an hour and there's any lightning anywhere in the area at all, they're not going to keep it going. They're going to close it. So
As they should, because
keep
that's
an
a
eye out.
very dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
Yeah. Yeah. So tips from Brenda.
That's
Tips
right.
from Brenda.
That's right. Because we're like, but that lightning's 20 miles away. It didn't matter.
Yeah. Doesn't
Nope.
matter.
Florida weather.
Safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Florida weather is very, very fast, you will find.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those rods on the top of all the buildings are not decoration, people.
Yeah.
Are lightning rods.
We do not want what happened to Tower of Terror to happen anywhere else.
That's right.
Yeah. It's only meant to happen at Tower of Terror because it looks really cool and it fits the storyline really well.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
and
that's
then it
another
sends
show
even
for
more
another
people to
day.
the Twilight Zone.
Oh.
All
All
right,
right,
then.
Sophie. Number 5 on your
Number
list.
5. So this is something I have not done before, but I really wanted to do it while it was still a thing. But unfortunately, it has been discontinued.
No.
But I was really hyped to do it when I had the opportunity to do it before that opportunity got tragically stripped away. and that would have been Rivers of Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to see that show because, for those of you who don't know, I am an avid lover of World of Color. So I will take anything at Disney that comes even close to what World of Color is. That's why I loved Harmonious so much. It's why I really wanted to see Rivers of Light. World of Color is so mesmerizing. So Rivers of Light. Rivers of Light. I just really wish I could have seen it.
In my humble opinion, Rivers of Light had nothing compared to World of Color. I mean, not even close. World of Color is
That's
so unique.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Phantasmic, to me, Phantasmic is the closest to World of Color.
I see. Okay. Hmm.
Good to know. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, for me, Rivers of Light, I never saw it either, and I wish I'd had the opportunity and made time to see it once. But I almost feel like if I go YouTube it and see an episode of it, and then maybe on there I would realize that it really doesn't hold a candle to World of Color, which, I don't know anything in those type shows does, but because
Okay,
World of
maybe
Color.
so.
So anyway,
But
but
at the
I
same
agree
time, the
with you though, Sophie.
pictures.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to seen it as well. So,
Yeah,
but
because
it is what it is,
yeah,
right?
because just the pictures. Like, look at this stuff.
Didn't
It
seem
looks
Yeah,
like it
so.
had very long a run, did it?
It didn't, which is a really big shame. Like,
yeah,
look at that. It is so pretty.
yeah,
I would have loved to have seen it.
Maybe they'll bring
yeah.
it back.
They might.
Maybe. I hope.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You don't know. So, but that is a good choice, Sophie.
Hmm.
So, I agree with you. It would have been something that would have been neat for us to experience.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Okay.
no regrets. We just move on and we look at the next thing. And
Yeah.
for me, I am taking us on a slight train ride. It's the train that's not really a train, and it takes us up to Rafiki's Planet Watch. And specifically, I like. I didn't do the attraction. I like that you can do the that you can do the conservation station there, and you can what is it that
Animation Academy.
the Animation Academy. That's the one I was thinking of. I like that you can do that there now. That it's not just gone.
Yeah.
You know, um, because I still think it would be better used back at Hollywood Studios, but if it's not, then having it here is good too. But I just like taking that journey, on the train and going to Rafiki's Planet Watch and just kind of explore. It's almost like when you're at Animal Kingdom, it's almost like going to an extension, like its own little area, its own little park,
For sure.
Yeah.
and it doesn't have a lot of things to do there. It's not like beat all end all. Um,
They have the
but
petting zoo there, though.
yeah,
And Chip and
um,
Dale are there.
mhm. But
That's
it
good.
is neat to explore. It's neat to experience it and just kind of hang out. It's kind of like, in some ways, for me, it's kind of like when you go over to Tom Sawyer Island at the Magic Kingdom,
Hmm.
knowing that it's not something that, oh my gosh, I've got to see this at Tom Sawyer. No, it's there because you're going for the experience and just kind of relax and slow down and take it easy. And the same thing there, at Rafiki's is you're going there, just kind of slow down and relax and see what's there and see what you're going to come across.
Yeah. Don't
Um,
try to stick it in between two different Genie Plus. Don't try to stick it into some short span of time. Do it when you're not, having to get back for something, because you're going to want more time there than you thought, and it's just
mhm.
not going to be as enjoyable. Try not to do that. Try not to
Yeah,
stick it into something. Take
yeah.
some time over there.
And it's kind of interesting because we talked about Pocahontas earlier, number 2 on my list. Number 5 with Rafiki, we actually went into the building and Pocahontas was there to greet us.
Yeah.
So
Yay!
it was like those are like the 2 times that I remember anyway that Sophie was able to get a picture with Pocahontas.
Great. That is great.
So it's like, wow, you don't know who you're going to see, you don't know what you're going to see and what's going to be going on, but it's like one of those things around the corner. There they are.
Yeah.
So it's just neat. So I like it. I think it's a neat area to go kind of relax and explore a little bit and you there's no way out of there except by the train. So you can almost like you could sit on the bench and say, kids, go pet the animals, and they're right there petting the animals. So
You could buy the feed and they get to feed them. I mean, where I live, that's not, I mean, we can't just do that anywhere. I mean, we could go to the Houston Zoo, but that's a neat experience for kids to be able to feed them. So
yeah.
it's good to spend some time over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
So
great choice.
that's number 5. And I will also freely admit that on my list, if they hadn't been taken, I would have had Expedition Everest and Kilimanjaro Safaris and Cali River Rapids. All of those.
Hey, you
Getting ice
could have
cream
had
at the end of
Expedition
the
Everest with
our
us.
food truck. I would have that. Those all would have been on my. So they're all on my honorable mention list.
Yay.
Aw,
That's
Daddy, you
good.
could have had the same choices as us. It would have been okay.
I know, and it's not that there's more than just 5 things to see. So that I
Yeah,
like. So that's okay.
you're right. You're right. Notice, however, that dinosaur and It's Tough to Be a Bug did not make it to any of our lists.
No.
Exactly.
No, no,
Bingo.
no.
No,
Nope.
Oh my
not
gosh.
on my list. And you know what? I read a blog post once about some attraction and how it was the absolute worst attraction at Disney World. And I'm like, and I don't remember which one it was.
Huh.
Tough to Be a Bug.
Well, no. No, it wasn't. It's tough to be a bug. It was something else. Something that
What?
I actually enjoy. And I can't remember. I got to go find it. But it got me to the point I'm like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
How could It's Tough to Be a Bug not be the absolute worst attraction ever at Disney?
Oh, it's not my worst.
What's your worst?
Astro Orbiter. Oh my God, I am not going up there.
Well, I mean,
No,
fair
no,
enough,
no.
but at least fair enough, I suppose, but at least it doesn't involve, a wasp stinging you in the rear.
And people trying to like kill you because you tried to kill them.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
who the heck thought that would be a good attraction?
Yeah. So
Oh.
so anyway, I just thought I'm like, how could they do? But anyway, yeah, there's neither one of those. They made the show, but they didn't
Not
make
in a
it for
good
the
way.
right reason.
Uh-uh.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh God.
So anyway, that, my friends, I think that wraps us up as far as our feature topic goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is now time for this day in Disney history for April 24th.
Yay.
Sophie, take it away.
All right, then. Well, I've got 2 things, and they happened relatively recently in comparison to a lot of our other things.
Mm-hmm.
And they happened on April 24th of 2009. And one of these is the retirement. So, Imagineering legend Marty Schuyler announces in a letter to all Imagineers that he will say goodbye to Walt Disney Imagineering on July 17th of 2009. A Disney legend, Schuyler began as a Disney cast member 53 years ago on this day. So let's see, 2009, 53, 19. Sorry, I'm not good at math.
1953.
He was there a long time.
1956.
1956. Thank you. He began
Right?
50.
Yeah.
We're
I
going to
think
go
you're
with
right.
it.
I think you're right.
Oh, wait.
1956.
Never mind. If I read further down, it would say. Okay, yeah. Anyway, we're just going to keep reading because I'm not good at math. He began as a cast member at Disneyland's Public Relations Department and joined Walter Elias Disney Enterprises in 1961. Disney will honor him with a window dedication ceremony on his date of retirement.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Well deserved.
Very
Yeah.
well deserved. And then that very same day, and did you know that Disneyland had a food and wine festival as well as Disney World? Because
Mhm.
I certainly didn't.
I
The
did.
Food and Wine Festival opens for its 4th consecutive year at Disney's California Adventure in 2009. This year's festival, dubbed World Celebration, focuses on the cultures, experiences, and flavors from all around the world that influence California. The festival will run for a measly 45 days.
Yeah. And Brenda, last week we talked about the Food and Wine Festival coming up.
Yeah.
And it starts July 27th at Epcot through November 18th. And it is 114 days.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
I think that's shorter than last year.
It
Yeah.
might be. I didn't look, but it might
Yeah.
be. But yeah, 45
Fun
days.
times.
45 days, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, good history, Sophie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's see what we can do today.
Mwahaha.
Are you ready?
Prepare to be amazed, people.
Yep, prepare to be amazed. This character lives on a small rock in the ocean.
Scuttle.
Don't make Brenda choke on her water. Was it that easy?
Yeah. I'm like, small rock?
Oh my gosh.
Small island. Now that might be different, but a small rock.
Well, as you can tell, she is correct. My other clues were that this character thinks he knows everything about the human world. And this character shares his knowledge and does his best to help. Those were my 3 clues. Obviously, not all needed.
Thank you for the easy one, Daddy.
I didn't think that clue would have been that easy.
Oh my gosh, that is just amazing.
Yeah, always, as always. Scuttle from The Little Mermaid.
Oh my goodness gracious.
She memorizes the book, I think.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
I don't. I just memorize the movies.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, now that Who's Who character has been stumped.
Yes, Sophie, you rock as always.
Has not been stumped. It's time for a little bit of Walt. So Brenda, close us out, honey.
All right. To retreat from any of the principles handed down by our forefathers who shed their blood for the ideals we still embrace would be a complete victory for those who would destroy liberty and justice for the individual. Walt Disney.
Wow.
Walt Disney, the man.
The man.
The
main man. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, my friends, that wraps us up for this week. Next week, we are having a foodie episode.
Yay!
Yes!
We love food.
We love food. We love food. And this episode, we are going to talk about pizza. And specifically, we are going to share our top 3 places to get pizza at Walt Disney World.
Yes. Pizza.
So that could be in the park, at a resort, at Disney Springs, anywhere in the Walt Disney World complex. So we're each going to list 3 things because I'm worried if we only listed one, then we might all have the same one. so we're going to list our top 3 places. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, think about what your top 3 places are, people, and share them with us.
We're doing top 3 each, right?
Top 3 each.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I can think of more than 3.
Yeah.
You gotta narrow it down.
Narrow it down to 3, or pull an executive decision like I do and have like 6 honorable mentions.
Yes, that sounds more like it.
Or you could be like me and you can't eat it except one way, so you have to choose the ones that will actually make what you can eat.
There you go.
And that's why I knew for a fact that Aunt Brenda and I would have different top ones.
Yes.
Yeah. For once.
Yeah.
For once.
So that is what we're looking at next week. And until then, I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. And he's Grogu. And we hope you all have a great week. And we will see you on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.